All right, Todd Billin, before we get into a little bit of a film review on week one with the Falcons versus the Seahawks, I want to kind of talk about this game and some of the things, right? I know some of you cats aren't going to go past a minute before you jump into the comment section because, of course, this is YouTube and this is what people do, I have come to know. So, man, this was a weird game, right? At least from Atlanta's standpoint, congratulations. The Seahawks, just like I said before, look like one of these teams that could very well win the Super Bowl. I think they are that talented and they are that damn dynamic. I could watch Jamal Adams play all day. I love watching him in college, covering him in college, and he's done nothing but the same exact shit that he did in college. Matter of fact, the NFL looks easier because I believe they'd even use him even better than they did in college at LSU. He was everywhere, right? If these guys are running the same exact scheme, the Falcons and the Seahawks, you can see the difference that a major playmaking safety makes, right? And one on the back end at a middle field close who can make shit happen as well. But we'll save that for another time, right? So if you were just box score scouting like most people do, you would look at him like, well, man, of course, Matt Ryan and these guys, they put up over 500 yards of offense, just like last season, right? When I did in the preview before this one, right? They had 500 yards of offense easily the last game as well. But it just seems like empty calories, right? Just that's empty calorie candy type stats. When you really needed something to happen, it just feels like you could not compete with the Seattle Seahawks. It looked fairly easy for Seattle. They have much more playmakers on the front end, much more impactful players, right? I think if you're trying to be like the Seahawks, which was the original goal, you're just not there. You're just not there, right? And that's not to say that the Falcons are not a good team or they can't be a good team. To me, they're just not the Seahawks. Just not, right? And it goes beyond the quarterback position. Everybody's going to want to pound on the Iceman, but the Iceman was making some good-ass throws out there. Certain aspects of the play calling, the sequencing could have been a little bit better. Some of the throws could have been a little bit better. Some of the catching could have been a little bit better, and that was across the board from just about every major receiver on the team. We saw some drop passes. The run game, right? That's why I'm talking about the sequencing. I feel like the run game could be a little bit more involved. I know the Seahawks got up, and then, of course, you can't really run your way back into a game, or can you? But it just seems like it's like I want it, right? Like, where's the dynamic back at? You need somebody who's dynamic who can take it 80, 90 yards. I just don't think Todd Gurley is that. When he had room to run, right, when they were really worried about the pass, he could get you your 7, 8 yard. I think he had a 15-yard gain and stuff like that. But when they really started focusing on the run, the offensive line showed itself to not be up to snuff in the run game. Todd Gurley was getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to make nothing from something. That's just not his game at this particular point in time. He doesn't look all that explosive to me either, not like he was back in the day. And it is what it is, though, right? But I still think he's a very good player, a very valuable piece to the puzzle. And this is the first game. So it's the first game without any preseason, but it's the first game without any preseason for everybody across the board as well. So you don't want to make that to be an excuse or a crutch, but it can definitely be a reason. Some teams maybe just hit on all cylinders faster than others. So it's just one game in the books. Long way to go right there. The Falcons could very well come out and look like the Seahawks looked this game in the very next game. So, but there are some things, if you were being neutral about this, that you saw where you're just like, damn, the NFC with all these great teams in it, Tampa, New Orleans in the division, or even the Carolina, right? All these teams in the division. And then, of course, going past that with the guys in Seattle and San Francisco and Green Bay and teams like that. Minnesota, you know what I mean? It's just going to be a tough road to hoe, but we'll see what it is, right? I wanted to take the first 3 or 4 games to really judge exactly how these teams are, right? One game doesn't make or break anything, but I know everybody was fired up to see what the Falcons could do against the Seahawks because it's always a great barometer because we know the Seahawks are going to be good and they're going to be there, to me, at the end, at least in the playoffs, at the very least, right? So, man, but shit, with that being said, you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about that, but I want you guys to let me know what you think about some of this stuff here in the film study that I'm going to go over, all right? So let's go ahead and get to that.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. All right, if you're new to the channel, this is not a highlight channel. This is a film study. Stuff will be paused and rewound ad nauseum. No full plays will be shown. If you want to go to a highlight channel, feel free to do so right now. All right? So here we go. This is going to have no rhyme or reason to it. It's just sporadic thoughts and sporadic stuff, right? This is working with the TV copy. I'll come back perhaps maybe later in the week or whatever like that and work with the coach's film. But, man, I wanted to see more from Hayden Hurst. I thought this was an excellent play right here on this over route. And you had him one-on-one with Shaquille Griffin. You can see the type of athlete that he has. The fun thing about this is the Falcons had 3 receivers over 100 yards, and each one of them had 12 targets, right? Gage, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley all had 12 targets apiece and all went over 100 yards. But this is the guy I wanted to see involved a little bit more. Look at this particular play from him right here. This was spectacular for me. It was a great throw, too, by Matt Ryan, right? Working off the boot. Look at that. Look at the product placement. That was hard. Look at this. You got Jamal Adams on the retreat here. You got Shaquille Griffin in coverage, right? Absolutely getting beat. And we know Shaquille Griffin can run. I told you, Hayden Hurst is a better athlete than Austin Hooper, and it's not close in my opinion. Hayden Hurst can go get the ball. We just need to figure out different ways to get him the ball. But check this out, man. Nasty. Look at where this was, right? What's the probability of this happening, especially with a freak like Jamal Adams back there? That throw is absolutely on the money. When somebody does some shit like this, man, you got to congratulate them. This is a hell of a throw, hell of a catch, right? Let him out to where he had to lay out and only where he could get the ball. Shaquille Griffin couldn't even catch up to him. And Shaquille Griffin's running a 4-3 or something like that? That's all. All right, so on this one, I think it's illustrative of where exactly I'm thinking about with Todd Gurley, man. Maybe once the season gets going or whatever like that, he'll show even more dynamic ability. But you see right here, what's this? Pro personnel. Yeah, it's pro personnel. It looks like it's Hayden Hurst right here. You got Smith, the fullback there. So going to have your – looks like they're going to be running a stretch, right? Angle blocking and everything, right? Zone flow, zone flow, zone flow, zone flow. Get up on your guy here. Smith run with a lead through there. Of course, Todd Gurley finding the organic crease. But check this out right here. Really good work by the front. Look at that. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. No breach, right? You want to see people to kind of stay on the ground, but if we can get a backside cut off right here, I'm not exactly sure who this is on Jaron Reed there, but he does a good job of causing like a 3-car pileup where they couldn't really get him backside here. Todd Gurley breaking through the line of scrimmage. Now here's one-on-one with the great one, right? You want to see him make this person miss and make this a long gainer here. This has the ability to be a pretty big gainer here. Check this out. No, Quandre Diggs tackle him in an open field. Quandre Diggs. Imagine somebody right now with the ability to kind of muscle relax. Boom, 88 and out the gate. Maybe he muscle relaxes. Look, he's already shitting, right? He's waiting to be stool softened or something, right? He's already shitting on the toilet right here. He just wants you to make him push it out, right? But no, he's able to tackle Todd Gurley in the open field. I couldn't imagine this being the Todd Gurley from 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. It depends on, right? Because every year Todd Gurley was really good. Then he was kind of suspect the next year in the NFL, if you're being neutral about the situation. But definitely at Georgia, you wasn't tackling this man in the open field like this. But if he could have muscle relaxed this, maybe broke this back to the outside, one-on-one, Hayden Hurst blocking down here, this is a long-ass touchdown probably, right? So these are just some of the things that I see right here. It's just like, oh, how did that happen? Right now, don't get me wrong, Quandre Diggs is the truth. He's the middle field closed safety that you would want in this scheme. So he made a good play, but I would think Todd Gurley could be able to make a man miss in the open field. Clyde Edwards-Helaire wouldn't have got tackled in the open field like that. All right, so this time 12 personnel. You see both Stocker and Hayden Hurst right here. This is going to be a split zone, though, right? Running zone flow here. Hayden Hurst, he has to get the uncovered guy, which is going to be one of my favorite players. Former Falcon, Bruce Irvin here, shooting out unblocked, right? So it's up to Hayden Hurst with the cross formation block to eliminate that. So he completely whiffs on this, and there's a breach at the line of scrimmage. Check this out. Hayden Hurst over there tumbling. Look at him. He's tumbling, Magic Mike in that shit, right? So you got Hayden Hurst over here, right? He's a male exotic dancer. Then you got Todd Gurley over here chopping his feet when he sees any little bit of action there, right? So you kind of see the fray right here. You got Poona Ford causing a pile up at the nose here. I want to say he going against Alex Mack there, but there's a breach. You're not moving anybody right here. And you have a late ad. Jamal Adams was everywhere, man. He played a phenomenal game, right? So he clogs up the middle right here, even though he fertilized himself. But Todd Gurley would have had to just go ahead and hit it, right? He's not going to be the type, I think, to chop his feet now and be able to bounce it to the outside. That's not going to be his game right there. So he needed to just hit that no matter what. But he tries to chop his feet, and then he's food for thought. So Bruce Irvin holding him up right there. All right, I really like this one right here. I love the personnel. I love what they have Ricardo Allen as pretty much the nickel Sam here. You're going to have pretty much double wraps going on, right? You're going to have a hard approach from the 6 technique here, and then an outside move. And then you're going to have where the cheese is being made. You already see it right here. Dante Fowler taking a hard approach on the inside with your man Grady Jarrett coming around close as it can get, right? That's exactly how you run some shit like this, right? You want to eliminate the spacing. You want to take a super arcing move here, and you want to run that tight, and he does a great job of doing that. So, boom, takes that up. Look at that. Russell Wilson had no chance. No chance. Check this out. Alan Bailey over there. Look at this. So, look, 3 people being taken by Dante Fowler here just because of the hard approach that he did. And Grady keeps it real close to him. So these guys are unable to help themselves because they are in a pile up. So it's very great right there. And he runs that bad boy tight. Coming around that hula hoop. You come around the hula hoop like that, you give yourself a chance. So nowhere for Russell to go with that one. All right, as soon as I saw this bad boy happen, I could hear the moans and groans of everybody across the internet talking about Isaiah Oliver getting beat vertically once again here. Now, check this out right here. I have a lot to talk about with this one. I don't like this. Who's teaching this shit right here? We'll go ahead and run this. Wait, what is that? What is that? The rest is academic from there, man. What did I tell you? You don't play cornerback with your hands. You play cornerback with your feet. Who's teaching this 2-hand jam shit? Why are you reaching with 2 hands? This dude is the next Calvin Johnson. You gonna 2-hand shove him or something like that? Work your fucking technique correctly, man. Hey, you're a professional. Just work your technique correctly, right? If you don't want him to get to the outside, jam him with that right arm at the very least just to get yourself in position, right? You're not going to stop this big-ass dude from running, so why are you trying to shove him with 2 hands? If you miss, you pay. And more than likely, he's just going to punk you out. Now look at that. He gets back to the inside. You're unable to combat that because guess what? You just got physically punked. Now it's a foot race with somebody who's infinitely more faster than you. Check that out. This is it. And we know Russell Wilson can throw the deep ball. The rest of this shit, like I said before, was academic. Look at the steps and strides on him. And this is all done from the bottom of the route where the man didn't freaking work his technique correctly. Great throw. Already enough separation. But what else? What else did I say all the time, right? When you're in this cover 3 scheme, this deep third scheme, and you're an Atlanta Falcon, you better know that you're playing cover 0 because you will have 0 help over the top from your middle field close safety, who I don't give a fuck what y'all say is not a good middle field close safety. He's better closer to the action the way he can get around the ball. DeMonte KZ is not that dude at middle field closed, in my opinion, until told otherwise, right? Everybody can improve and everything like that. He's starting there, but whatever, right? So you can't tell me this dude is better than Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, every time they throw the ball deep, this is what you're going to see right here. A day late and $1 short, right? He does have responsibilities going on here, anything that comes in this area, right? But guess what? There's a certain thing called instinct and feel and film study and all that shit like that these guys that we've seen in this scheme, Quandre Diggs, Earl Thomas, and people like that, to where they can help a guy out on this, right? So sure, he's beat, but suppose your middle field close safety is there. I don't know what to tell you guys, but it is what it is, man. All right, so here's another one that I know people were moaning about. A.J. Tyrell caught on a double move. Now, one thing that I know about football is advanced scouting. So you don't have any tendencies on A.J. Tyrell because he's a rookie, but you do have a ton of college film on him. And I'll guarantee you one thing they did was go back and look at some of the stuff that he struggled with in college or some of his tendencies. And I can remember the game against UNC going against De'Ami Brown, and he was beat on a double move. Now, I've seen A.J. Tyrell play since he was like a sophomore in high school. He is extremely aggressive. He wants to get picks. He's going to be beat on double moves a lot. It's something that he has to change within himself to where he can compete and not get beat on double moves. But there's a reason why he got the double move, and I don't think it was ran on anyone else. So here we go right here. You're going to get you got your boy, right? Little Megatron here. Maybe he's the Decepticon. Maybe he's the Decepticon, right? So DK Metcalf right here on a slant and go. Of course, they're in their 3 deep shell. And you're going to have back here, of course, DeMonte KZ going on right there. But you can just see, look at this. He bit hard, right? He knew he was going to have himself an interception because he no longer stopped looking at DK Metcalf. He immediately looked. Look at his eyes right there. He immediately looked at the quarterback. When you look at the quarterback and they're pump faking your ass and you think you're going to get an interception and they're throwing that bad boy, cocking it like that, you're going to bite. So he wanted to make a play for his team. He's a rookie. Can't totally blame him on this when they needed a play to be made. Boom. Stick that foot in the ground. Great throw. Of course, it's coming from Russell Wilson. Enough separation there. And probably would be tough for DeMonte KZ to get over there. But, hey, we've seen people do it before. So, I mean, it is what it is right there. So he was beat on a play. But for the most part, man, I didn't really see or hear anything much about A.J. Tyrell. I remember him on an option play by Russell Wilson. I'm not sure if he was supposed to be the force man or whatever was going on with that. And then maybe a play or two or whatever like that, but nothing too big with A.J. Tyrell. He was kind of lost in the sauce out there. So,
What more can I say?
Top Billin.